Hello everyone, and in today's Skulls Twitch stream on the Warhammer Twitch channel, Focus Interactive showed off Space Marine 2, and it had so much more in it than I expected that I just had to do a rundown. Click the pinned link to check out the Warhammer Twitch channel because it's a tracked link, and if enough people click on it, my Games Workshop PR reps might actually respond to my emails. If you're watching this in the week it comes out, by the way, then the Skulls event is currently on, and that means lots of Warhammer games discounted. Go and pick up Mechanicus because it's a pretty good game and is what I always use as my background music, so I've got to pay those royalties, right? Battle Sector because it's as close to digital 40k as they currently do. Rogue Trader for the most amount of content if you want the longest time spent gaming for your buck. And honestly, like just so many Warhammer games taken down to rock bottom prices. Every single one of them deserves its own video, but that mountain of effort would actually deserve its own dedicated channel, so instead of gushing, let's talk Space Marine 2. Let's start with the interesting things in the trailer you might have missed, and then follow the trailer through as it shows off its new 3-player co-op operation missions, and then details on its PvP multiplayer mode. First, cool lore stuff and details. Titus has 4 studs. This indicates 40 years of service compared to Space Marine 1 where he only has 2 studs. The Tyranid part of this game, the PvE as far as we know, will take place in Hive City, Fervastium, and our ship is the battle barge Resilient, and we are in the Residius system. We are fighting Hive Fleet Leviathan, which might seem very obvious to anyone who plays the tabletop game, but let's be honest, if they aren't Space Marines, the colour scheme doesn't matter. And you don't know it. Oh man, they're just really selling the grimdark, even here. All their armour is chipped, all augmentations look grotesque, even the studs in their heads are not straight, they're all like messed up. Now this is a Thunderhawk gunship. In the back of my head, I actually thought they had released an enlarged version of the Thunderhawk, but I couldn't find anything that had a model, and the only larger version I could find was the Stormbird, but that's a 30k model. So Thunderhawk it is? Now this picture obviously means something. This is a Tyranid-based PvE game, but here's chaos symbols all around. What does the central scrap metal mean? A broken sphere? A fallen world? Who knows, maybe we'll find out soon. Titus is rocking the auto bolt rifle chained to his forearm. I'm sure they make up some lore reason for this, but it's clearly just because it looks cool AF, as foretold. Or it's been 20 years and he did time alongside the Black Templars, who have a monopoly on chained weapons, FYI. Also, he's got his plasma pistol, which is just cool. Everybody loves an OSL effect, right? Tactical armor in the middle, saying 13th Legion on his skirt. Yes, it's a skirt, don't pretend otherwise. That's how you know Ultramarines are the true protagonists. They have the edgiest Legion number. Left has Jump Pack and Thunderhammer. Phobos armor on the right. Yes, he has a Marksman Bolt Carbine, but also a grappling hook if you look, which we have to assume will be usable in gameplay. Hypermobile light armor gameplay? As good as Titanfall? Of course not, but God Emperor, go for it, yes please. Carnifex is walking in the background here, very similar to how you should be stomping into my comments section to tell me what is your all-time favourite Warhammer game. Tough one, I know. Shadow of the Hornrat fans, rise up. Close up of the Phobos using his gun, more on guns later, don't worry, but it looks like the customization will be through the roof. Also, big trend of late in games like COD or Tarkov is to do gun porn, and finally 40k can go full gun porn as we change everything to how we like it, add purity seals, extra ammo, but also they will be made by people that understand guns instead of 8th edition scope and iron sight fiasco or the Dark Angels Azrael model. It's not a good track record. In the campaign, we know we're fighting alongside Imperial Guard, and they shoot cool red lasers, also known as flashlights, due to the raw, grim derpness of the setting, making lethal lasers be super ineffectual compared to just everything else that exists. Tyranid warriors have a sick whip animation. This is the afterbirth of a Thunderhammer hitting said whippy boy. Fighting this Hive Tyrant, we see that we have iframe dodges because that definitely made contact. It's literally a 10-foot blade and it hit us, but we didn't take damage. There's nothing to note here. This is just an absolutely sick frame to hold it on for a moment, so nice. Gravis armor with heavy bolter. That gives us all 3 main types of Primaris armor. This dude has a power fist and that's cool. I love being fisted. People are often confused by what a melter is. We know a flamer is flame and a plasma is hydrogen in a liquid state, but melter? I mean, logically it should be magma because it begins with an M, but here it looks like they've gone with high pressure gas. At first glance, I thought this is the Infiltrator's incestuous brother, the Incursor, because of his visor helmet, but with his stealth cloak instead of multi-sensor array, I'm going to say that's an Eliminator with Instigator bolt carbine. Here we see the Phobos doing the sickest flying dropkick that is truly worthy of being in 40k. Absolutely amazing animation. Presumably this is what his grappling hook is actually used for. It's a gap closer instead of traversal. This is the Eliminator slitting the throat of a warrior, causing it to spontaneously combust. Here we see a sword and shield loadout, and I really like their take on the power sword. Power swords were literally supposed to be lightsabers when GW created them, and here they've made it a pure beam of light as it was intended. Jolly good. We then get shown a bunch of customization options we can apply to our character, and also confirming as suspected with the different armor sets that this is a class-based shooter. Then we see all of our classes: Tactical, Assault, Vanguard, Bulwark, Sniper, and Heavy. We've seen all of these so far in the trailer, but if you know 40k, these all track. 25 levels to unlock your full skill tree, we don't know what that is. Primary, secondary, and melee weapons taken into each mission. At least. We'll see more soon. We see a bunch of different possible customizations, including bionic limbs, being able to save multiple, and of course some locked appearances. I've no doubt some of these will be achievement unlocks, presumably the Captain Plume, etc. But we are all grown-ups here, and we all know that certain things will be paywalled behind in-game purchases. The less said the better. We don't know anything yet. Moving on. Looks like we have 10 points of customization on the armor, so that's 6 different armor types. Bare minimum from what we just saw of 4 options in each slot and 10 slots. That is a lot of grown men dressing up their power armored Barbies. Not gonna lie, I'm very hyped. Interestingly, the Vanguard, or Phobos as we've called it before, is the one who has the Instigator bolt carbine here, not the Sniper. But here we have the backpack mounted targeter, whereas before we had the cloak. I'm saying oversight that will be fixed, I don't know. But it could be that, you know, shock horror, they want the sniper to actually have a sniper instead of a carbine. Big if true, true if big. The Bulwark is rocking a shield instead of a primary, nice, but still gets a plasma pistol and power sword, of course. The Sniper now, and sure enough he does in fact have a sniper. You know what, I'm gonna say he can have the bolt sniper rifle as is, the las fusel, and the Instigator carbine, because we've seen him with it. I just guess the Vanguard can take it too, which is fine. Just like how everyone can take a bolt pistol, I guess, and it will be down to how it synergizes with their class abilities. Now we see the primary option for some classes being a heavy bolt rifle, a stalker bolt rifle, a bolt carbine which has a front grip, which I've never seen before on a model, but I must be blanking because maybe I have seen it, and the plasma incinerator. Again, looking at all of these, I will be absolutely shocked if we can't fully inspect the weapons for our gun porning desires. Then we start to see some of the customization, going from light artwork to purity seals to full God Emperor bling. And oh yeah, like the more bling the better, very clearly, just look at this picture, right? Here is a Rubric Marine getting meleeed hard with what looks like a disassembled suit of Rubric armor behind him, a very nice touch. And this is the face of a Rubric Marine regretting not getting out of the way of a Thunderhammer. This here is a Hellbrute, the Chaos version of a Dreadnought. Again, we seem to be iframe dodging him. Nice. Boss battles will be a thing, and the Hive Tyrant will jump at you. That's all of the co-op and customization stuff covered. Then we get into the PvP game. It is 6v6 and you look cool AF. Looks like it will be loyalists versus traitors, okay? Clearly we are facing off against the heretics as we see the different Chaos Gods Marines fighting alongside each other, Death Guard and Black Legion here. We don't see any else in the PvP section yet. As the jump pack crashes down, we see it looks like the Death Guard is using psychic powers on the Marine in the background. Weird for a Death Guard to do. It seems to be stunning the Marine, making it have like a staggered effect, so maybe psychic powers are just something anyone can equip. Here we see a Death Guard in a Bulwark loadout doing a ground stomp. Now we have 2 Black Legion, one as a standard tactical loadout, one in Bulwark loadout, charging a heavy armor loyalist who has a force field up. Could be a tech shield or psychic barrier. Knowing multiplayer games these days, presumably then, we pick our class and modify 1 or 2 items in our loadout, and maybe one of those, as the heavy, is a defensive shield or like an offensive, a grenade perhaps, something like that. Here we see Bunny Ears Khorne, but also the Bulwark using an ability on his shield. He's walking slowly, so it's turned on, but it's covered in power, like a, force field thing. Also, notice the gun has been thrown forwards onto the ground in a very static looking way from the Marine that the corn dude just killed. Bad alpha animations, or will weapons be lootable throughout the round? And that's it. That's everything learned in the Space Marine 2 multiplayer trailer. Honestly, it looks awesome, and even though I'm not really much of a PvP shooter guy, I was already really excited for Space Marine 2 for the campaign. I am still left significantly more excited than before. Very cool. Thanks for watching. Back to wargaming soon. Goodbye.